Ladies and gentlemen, Joshua Salvetti coming in from the High Performance Trader, right? So we had a lot of volatile price action over the week, right? Today is March 11th, right? So in this video, I want to be breaking down March 10th, right? I want to go over what we identified in the pre-market plan and how we implemented that into trading and how we identified areas to get in and out of the market successfully. Right, so over here at the High Performance Trader, I truly believe in price and volume analysis. I believe in supply and demand trading, right? Basically how to understand and validate what our edge is, right? And what exactly our edge represents. And what that is our job, our sole purpose as traders is to identify large money stepping in and out of positions, right? We as traders, retail traders, cannot move the market, right? So we rely, right, on our edge to identify smart money getting in and out of positions, right? This is how we make money. It's very important to identify these areas of value, right, that are on the charts, a graphical presentation, right, and identify these areas of value and be able to react in the now time and understand the opportunities that the market is giving us. Right, so in this lesson, I just want to basically break down, right, how I break down my pre-market plans, my analysis, and how I get in and out of the markets. So we're going to be breaking down, right, real quick. Let me just bring this right over here. So the day we are going to be breaking down is 3/10/2023, right? So over here in the pre-market plan, right, and I post these every single day in the Discord, I run through a bearish scenario and bullish scenario of areas that I'm looking to trade. Because like I just said before, it is very important as traders to identify where large money is going to be stepping in and out of the positions, right? So we do that with supply and demand zones, right? We do that with areas of value, right? End of day, pre-market high, pre-market low. Basically areas that we've previously seen violent price movement, right? Big sell-offs and big rallies, right? So over here I put here in the QQQ, I really need to see price hold above end of day for longs, right? But be on the look for buyers showing strength, right? But if not, bearish scenario, looking for sellers to defend 295.04, potentially bringing price down to end of day, and then possibly 290, right? Strong sellers at pre-market high of 295.04, right? And then I post a little graphical presentation of what exactly I'm looking for, right? So what ended up happening, right, and we're going to run through this, is price ripped right up into here pre-market at 295.04, right? So in the event price can come back to this area of value, right, I'll be looking to take the market short, right? This is a prime double top, right, or a supply rejection, right? So how do I validate that? Well, I find on the chart, right, where a violent sell-off happened, right? So as I'm doing my pre-market analysis, I identify smart money with a violent sell-off, and that's exactly what happened, right? So price sold right off into demand, right, and we waited patiently, right, because price sold off, and then right when we hit this demand zone, right, and let me show you where I got this demand zone. So I got this demand zone from the 4-hour time frame, right, and I brought it all the way back to here. Now you see how I did that. I found the low over here, right, where buyers last showed up, right? So last time over here, the date was, let me see, 128, right? January 28th, we had buyers take price all the way up from 288 to 313, a violent move up. So that's telling me if price can come back down into this level, I'm looking for buyers. And I validate that, right, on this day over here, which is 3-2. So price came back down into this 288 level. Buyers took the price up, rally, validating that buyer really likes that price. So in the event price can come back down to this area of value, I'll be looking for longs, right? And I will not make a move until then. It is very important to understand something. Just because price comes into a demand zone or a supply zone doesn't mean you go long or short. It is very important to understand what we're doing here. Yes, we're drawing rectangles on our graphs, right? And yes, we are looking here to take the market long, but you can't take the market long until the market tells you buyers are stepping up, Remember, our edge is to identify large money. How do you do that, right? And we're going to break that down. So how you do that is when price starts to come into a specific area. Right now, I know a lot of traders get hung up, right, on, oh, it was still a couple dollars. It was, look, 30 cents away. Listen, this is not, the market. You need to be like water. You need to be very fluid, right? You need to be able to get in and out of opportunities and see opportunities. So you need to understand the overall mindset and mind frame of what we're doing here. What we're doing here, and imagine you're in a pit, right, on Wall Street. Right, and you got this buyer that loves this price, right? Of we got 289, we'll call it, or 288.95. He loves that price right at 299. Every time sellers bring it there for the last month, he goes deep. He buys large. So with that mentality and with that state of mind, are you going to go long if he doesn't hit the bid? Absolutely not. Right? You are not going to take the market long until you see him buying. He can control the market. He can move the market. You can't. Right? And it's very important to understand this, because once you understand this, you understand what your edge truly is. Yes, our edge is identifying chart patterns. Yes, our edge is identifying supply and demand zones. Right? But until you can validate and identify in live time that large money has stepped into the equation, your edge is worthless. Right? So that's why it's so important to be able to see what's going on. Well, how? Josh, how do I know he stepped up? You really don't. But what you can do is identify volume, which you get right here. Look at that volume spike, right? Big volume spike right here, identifying and telling you, right, that someone with a lot of money has just showed up to the scene, right? If it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck, right? So if it's in a zone and you have a chart pattern, it's probably smart money, right? Like, that's the best analogy I could do. So price comes down right into this area, right? And we also called out in the Discord, let me see, where did we call it out? So you can see right here, I'm like targeting VWAP, wait for retest with strength, right? That's what I would call it out. Here's the signal, right? That's what I'm looking for. And you can see here, right? You get this retest with strength. Now, what's a retest with strength? A retest with strength means price came down, could not make a lower low, Bayesian candle, right out. With volume, that is a 3-piece for success, right? Now, is this the perfect ideal rejection? Absolutely. Does this happen very consistently? Absolutely. Does this work 100% of the time? No, it doesn't. So you have to be able to understand exactly what we're doing here. As a day trader or any trader, your job is to identify a high probability market reversal, right? A high quality setup, right? Which is going to make you money, right? And then when you're looking at it like this, it really helps you to understand, right? Because I know a lot of people struggle with taking profits like super fast. Understand what you're doing here. If a large buyer is stepping into the market, are you going to take profits after 30 cents? No, because these guys buy in increments of like 30 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents. Every time they hit the buy, the S&P 500 goes up 30 cents, 40 cents. So you got to understand what a market imbalance is between these supply and demand zones. And another concept is, if large money is stepping into a position, sellers are no match until large money sells the position. That is why we consistently get these market imbalances. And what I mean by a market imbalance is supply, is for demand all the way to supply, right? Very important to understand exactly what the market auction is telling you. Once I start to understand this, my consistency went through the roof. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, it is very important to understand what your edge actually is identifying, right? So this is a brief lesson, right? And it's very, because a lot of people ask me, right, how do you know to get in the position, right? What time frame are you trading on? Which indicator are you using, which is none. In the reality, guys, is you don't know if it's a perfect, there is no perfect gunshot that goes off that goes, this is going to be a winning trade. You need to let go of that. The only thing you can control is your perception, your mind frame, which is to identify these opportunities in live time. And we do that via price and volume analysis, which means chart pattern in a zone with volume, right? So you do that, right? And you consistently only trade that with discipline, you will become a consistently profitable trader. You need to be able to understand the market auction. You need to be able to identify large money stepping into positions, right? And think about it. It makes sense just on the downside as well. So you can see here, we got pre-market high at 295.05, right? Price it comes up and rejects the supply zone. Now, a lot of people go, how'd you know to draw the supply zone that way, right? And basically, all what you have to do is right click, add drawing, right? Make the rectangle and capture all of that congestion, right? So anywhere in this zone, I'm looking for sellers to come in, right? I don't care if it's 293 or if it's 295. What I'm doing is I want to identify that volume, right, in a big red candle telling me that smart money has showed up to the scene. That's why these chart patterns in these zones are so powerful. Because if you just enter when you're in the zone, you're done. You're going to fail, right? So wait. Patiently wait. I stress this to everybody on the Discord, everybody I know, right? Your goal as a trader is to identify large money. The way you do that is your supply and demand zones in a chart pattern in a demand zone, right? I offer a fully super extensive online course on supply and demand, right? It's super powerful, right? The link's below. The link is in my Instagram. Get involved, take it, right? It's $150. You get full access to all the knowledge that I have, and not only that, you get full access to the Discord. I'm talking one-on-one mentorship. I'm talking we could review trades, everything, weekly recaps, super valuable stuff, ladies and gentlemen, right? So I'm Joshua Salvetti from the High Performance Trader. Get involved. If you like this video and you want more like it, please like, hit the subscribe, and I will see you in the next lesson.